these are the service areas that are in your deck, the Arc brand thing, and I just put them down as my starting point for keyword research. And literally that's the magic of keyword research. I'm literally going in, I'm researching that keyword, I'm going through the list, finding out what's relevant based on a bunch of different things. We have cloud migration services. So what we might do is, because there is a little bit of volume on this stuff, just quickly to focus us, we'll look at keywords with volume. So obviously of just anything that's getting over 10 searches a month. And then we can see, and we can just go to here. We can see, so cloud migration checklist. That might be something you'd be interested in. That's a content creating. See what, like this is it. This is what I do. So I pick the stuff that I know you guys can write content on. I've used statistical numbers to say this is a valuable keyword. I'd say this, we'll put, and just quickly, so say 5 is the top, 1 is the least. We probably, and strategies. Strategies is probably an interesting thing. Migrate to cloud, that's quite broad. So cloud migration, again, quite broad. Steps, again, that's interesting, because that's something that can fall into strategies, and you know what I mean? And we're starting to kind of figure out what are the keywords that are of interest to us that can do it. So shuttle cloud migration, I don't really understand that, so I'm not going to mark it. Cloud computing, it's too broad. Big data, way too broad. Public cloud, again, it's not. These are not clouds, weather systems. These are not the things that that our people are searching for. So it's really telling me quite quickly that a lot of the stuff after here really
is this just Ireland?
It's actually the UK. There is Ireland. We tend not to get data in Ireland because it doesn't have the access to the data. Oh, really? Because it's a US company. It's not as big as Google, So what I do is I actually go into the keyword planner in Google and lob in all these keywords and get search volumes afterwards if I need to. Because Google has that. So what I'll use Moz for in an instance like this is just to give me an indication of the fact that there are people somewhere searching for this, and then I'll verify that. By the way, if we need to find out something about this keyword in this tool, we will go to keyword overview, and that will show us the difficulty. So cracking keyword, low difficulty score, huge organic CTR, and quite a decent priority. Like great keyword. Priority is a score. Well, it's kind of, what Moz is doing is, okay, what is the keyword you've put in? So how relevant is it to network optimization? Obviously, it's really relevant to network optimization. So that's get one signal. It's got some search volume, that gets another signal. It's got a low difficulty score, that gets another signal, and a high organic CTR. So this tells us.
Was that like priority, like an overall score of all the other variables?
Yeah, it's a Moz proprietary one. So, but it may not be relevant to our persona, so we can override it. It's essentially, it's a filtering tool saying, based on, like obviously if you found a keyword that was an 80 priority, like that's a golden keyword. They're hard to find, but that's pretty decent. But you can see like this is a cracking keyword because because that's so high. And if we look at the SERP even, for example, there's 2 AdWords ads. There's 4 related questions. There's no side panel or videos or stuff. So it means that there's more space on that page for organic results. It's not actually that hard, sure. It's not. It's just really boring. It's just tedious and boring. But it's quite manual. But that's what gives you guys a strategic ability to weave the type of content that you want to create. Is most valuable, know that it can be easily sold, know that's closest to your personas. This is a guide plus backup tool to justify the actions that you want to take. So it's your justification source rather than we must do everything that the Moz machine says. So while we didn't look for supply chain stuff in our initial search, it is coming up here, and it is a service they provide. So obviously what we do here again, and just quickly, contains supply, and then we have all of our supply chain stuff. And what we might do is, and this is just something else is category. You know. Now I haven't committed to anything yet on this, on whether these keywords are good or bad or indifferent. But when I put all of them on here, so maybe I put in network, okay? And this is just some quick subcategorization of your list. It helps with understanding how to group stuff. If you want to split network optimization into 4 areas, is it going to be supply chain optimization? Is it going to be software? Is it going to be... So it's these 4 areas working towards network optimization. So what I'm doing here, Sean, I know you dipped out, was what I'm actually doing is I'm categorizing the keyword lists as well. So network opt services. Okay, so just based on that.
So this is your own personal category?
It's just, again, there's a lot of your own understanding of the business needs, the content development needs, the personas, and just the categorization just makes it easier for you to have if you have a list of 1,000 keywords with 15 categories, it's much easier to understand it. Techniques, because again, why I'm prioritizing techniques is with organic keywords and organic searches and blog content is you're generally trying to create content that people find useful. And something like techniques tells me that I will be providing something useful to my researcher, which is a goal of content development. You know, like we're not always trying to get people, to buy, that we do have to give them something so they, they value us. Yeah, so because what I'm doing is I'm lobbing it into this sheet here. My keyword, so generally, as I said, what I do is I do my initial research. What's a workplace transformation? And I leave it alone. And I'll come back to this sheet, and from this sheet, because this is like my initial dive, I'll just get a zillion. Like at this point, we've got probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably about 6,000 keywords. So, and after doing all the keyword research, I just like to go off, do something else for a while. Then I'll go back to this sheet. I do a load of slogging in this. I refine it down. Then I put my refined list back into Moz.